Hi there. Very good afternoon to all of you. Good morning to all of you. Good evening, depending on wherever you are. This is a live session from me, and this is Simply Stocks. As promised, live, a bit late, 15-20 minutes late. Sorry for that. We'll discuss a number of companies you might have seen with the heading that I have put up. That I'm going to discuss about three white goods makers, three companies which are in the consumer domain, and a lot of queries have come in with respect to these companies. Uh, so the companies I'm going to talk about are Symphony, Whirlpool, and Hitachi, and which one is better, because a lot of queries come in when I talk about Whirlpool, people talk about Hitachi. When I talk about Hitachi, people talk about Symphony, and when I talk about those two, people do talk about why Whirlpool is not good. So I'll discuss about these three in a nutshell. Also discuss about the markets and what's my strategy is, and then answer your queries as well. Hello, Jayesh. Hi. Hi, Srinidhi. Good afternoon. Nagraju, hi. Let people join in as it's a Sunday. Maybe it's a lazy morning for all of you. Why I don't start a live session in the evening is because of a lot of hustle and bustle at home due to a kid that I have of 1.5 years old, and also because of a lot of work that needs to be put in, as you may understand, because of my mother and all. So moving around after say 2 p.m. is my motto till evening, and then I make videos, etc., and that's why I come online in the morning. I hope all of you are doing well. I hope all of you are healthy. The rates are going up. If you see the India rate for the pandemic, so kindly be safe, and probably, I don't know, but it may end in the next 2-3 months. It may just curtail itself. May again spring up later on until the whole testing thing is done, and that is why I bagged Kilpest because of this testing fact, and we see where the stock is. Uh, so coming back to the markets, so the markets ended on Friday at around 11,100, 150. Reliance ended at 2150. Now the thing is, it's quite interesting. Reliance has 15% stake in the market. Any decline in Reliance would trigger a big fall in the market, and that is what I am expecting in August. Uh, but I feel that the markets could head towards 11,400, 11,500 in the near term, maybe this week. And August could be very detrimental. So kindly be careful about it. I'm not saying that whatever I say will happen. Actually, whatever I say never happen. It happens that the market does the opposite. But if you're making money from the March April lows, then it's prudent to book some profits. If you are sitting on 30, 40, 50%, even 100% profits in some stocks, it's prudent to book at least 50% of that, and then keep the rest, and let's see how the market behaves. But from 7,500 to, if it goes to 11,500, we would have a 4,000 point rally on the Nifty in just 5 months. Five, not even 5 months, like 4 months. 4 months, you are up 4,000 points on the Nifty. Uh, that's around a CAGR of around 10 to 12%. That is just outrageous. 10-12% a month on the benchmark index, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Reliance from 875 has gone to 2150. I hold Reliance, so that's a standard disclaimer, but I still believe it has run up a lot. The fair value of Reliance is around 17-1800. It may never come to that level, but a good 10 to 15% decline is possible from the top. I don't know when the top will be made in Reliance, and that's when the uh, markets would fall. So kindly be very, very careful as to what you do in the market. Kindly be very careful as to uh, how you trade in the market. If you're trading, if you are an investor, you don't have to do anything. If you are sitting on good profits, you have bought the right stocks, wait for major declines to buy into different companies that you have already bought into, average it, and then probably in the next 3-4 years this market will be even higher. I won't be surprised if the market crosses 16, 17,000 in the next 2 to 3 years on the Nifty. But next 2, 3 months could be difficult. So that's about the market. About the different stocks that I wanted to talk to you about. Now, these three companies, Symphony, Whirlpool, and Hitachi, serves the white goods industry. Symphony makes primarily coolers, water coolers of different sorts, even hanging coolers, coolers that can fit in small places, fit in walls, etc. Hitachi is probably, I believe, the second best company in the AC domain. The best could be Daikin, but Daikin has a very expensive brand with it, and the products are slightly priced higher. Although I don't know the complete detail of it, but whatever I know, I'll discuss with it. What I believe is Hitachi is in the premium segment of the listed AC brand. So you have Blue Star, you have LG. LG is not listed, but you have a Blue Star, and you have a Lloyd, which is in Havells and others. So Hitachi to me also has a different product as well. Actually, it has a number of products. So centralized AC conditions, air conditioners, as well as you can say split ACs. Plus, they provide refrigerators. Now that is interesting, and that is where Whirlpool comes in, because Whirlpool is also decent in refrigerators. Although again, LG is in there, Godrej is in there, and other companies are also in there. uh, but then Whirlpool with their washing machines trumps these two, because Whirlpool's washing machines are selling big time across India for a longer period of time, at least for the next 3 4 years, as I know of it. And the change in management thinking over the last 5 years has led to the complete revolution in the stock. So the stock was trading at 350, 400 rupees in 2014. In the last 6 years, it has moved to virtually, I think, 27, 2800 before the fall happened. And that is a 7x return in 6 years. Uh, Purely on the stock point of view, Whirlpool looks the best. And also on the product point of view, Whirlpool is perhaps, in my opinion, the best of the three companies. But on the valuations point of view, Hitachi is a much better company compared to Whirlpool, because Hitachi, if it comes anywhere close to 10% lower from the levels that it is trading at right now, 2100 or so, if it comes to around 1900 or below it, it would trade at probably 50% discount to its normal valuations. Yes, I understand that a lot of aces would not have been sold, and it was the peak summer season when this all lockdown thing and other things happened. But if you look 1.5 years from now on, I would not be surprised if Hitachi would be at 3200, 3400 from the levels that it is trading at. But yes, over the next 2, 3 months, you could see a 15, 20% decline even from these levels. So this is not a recommendation. This is not something that you just pounce on tomorrow, because the stock could very well fall 15, 20% from these levels. But what I'm trying to say, that valuations are better in Hitachi compared to Whirlpool. Whirlpool is currently trading at 55, 56 times earnings. Normally, it trades at 50 times, and now with earnings, which is going to slow down for the next couple of quarters, I don't think it should trade at such valuations. I think Whirlpool's uh, decent valuation or price should be around 1800, 1850. It is at 2200. So declines are the main point where one should look at. Voltage is also very big on ACs. Hitachi and Voltage are perhaps one of the best companies listed in the AC segment. Uh, Blue Star is also up there. But why I like Hitachi is because of the stock movement that it has shown. So from Voltas, Blue Star, Hitachi, Lloyd that has merged into Havells. Out of these four, the stock charts of Hitachi is looking very good. It it keeps on growing. I mean, the stock itself, and growing at a pace of 24, 25% yearly. uh, Irrespective of the season, it goes up. So it can go up in October, November as well. It's not like it will go up only in summers and come back. So Blue Star as a stock has always done well from March to July, whereas uh, a Hitachi, I'm pretty sure that if it comes to 1900, 1800, even I would look to buy. if I had money. And I won't be surprised if the move happens immediately if things just start to normalize from October, November onwards. So, in my opinion, in the pecking order, Hitachi would be up there for ACs. In terms of valuations and current stock price, Hitachi is number one for me at the moment. Whirlpool, in terms of the product, in terms of fundamentals, etc., and the company is the best, but valuations are stretched. So, that's number two. And third would be probably a Blue Star or a Voltas. They are neck and neck, so you cannot just say that one over the other. Both are very good, and then comes Lloyd with Havels. So that's my opinion about the companies. There have been a lot of questions on Patreon, on YouTube about this. Whenever I put up a video discussing about one of these companies, then we talk about the others. Coming to Symphony. Now, Symphony at around whatever levels it is trading at the moment, I think 900 rupees or so, or just below it. Uh, this is a sea change, and see what has happened. So, Symphony went from 300 to 2600, and then we saw this decline. So, something like a 8x. In fact, it went up from 30 rupees to 2600. So, the move that was to happen, 80x, had already happened, and we are in the correction zone. We are in a consolidation zone that could go up to 7, 8, 10 years. That's what happened with the telecom industry, and that's where I feel that Reliance will trump others in the next 10 years easily, even from these levels. Because whenever a sector consolidates or a stock consolidates for many years, and whenever a breakout happens after that, it is a huge breakout. The same that is happening with Tanla, but I feel Tanla is moving up extremely quickly, so there could be a correction. But over a period of time, it may touch 300, 400. Similarly, Reliance did nothing from 2011 to virtually 2015, 16. In fact, from 2008, 8, 9, it went up in 2010. So from 8, 9, when it was around 300, to 2016, when it was around 600, it just doubled in about 8 years. In 8 years or so, 8 and a half years, it only doubled. That's just nothing. That's just 8% return or 6, 7% return. And from 2017 January, the move has really picked up, and we got this opportunity on this fall that took place in March, April, February, March, and then people grabbed it at 1000, 1100, 1200. Now the move has taken place with fundamental change in the company. So I believe that there will be declines, but eventually over 6 7 year period, this can easily be a 5 6x from 2000 levels. So it could be a 5 digit company going forward, say 6 7 years, not immediately. So again, I'm saying that the correction is annual, but correction should be bought into. So coming back to Symphony, the sea change or the changes that is happening is that people are moving from coolers to ACs, and ACs would be more in demand going forward. And that's why I like companies like Blue Star, Voltas, Hitachi, uh, LG, which is not listed but is big. These companies will sell big, and going to the electrification route, it also looks like that if electrification continues over the next 3 4 years, we could be in for a surge in refrigerator sales as well. So Godrej Consumer Products, along with say Godrej group of stocks, will also do well because Godrej, although they don't sell much, but they do sell. And then you have a Hitachi, which with their larger, you can say, refrigerators would sell big, and you have Whirlpool with their little bit of refrigeration that they'll do well. So Whirlpool is that's why Whirlpool looks good, because they have washing machines in which they are leaders. They have a segment which is into air conditioning, and they are also good at selling refrigerators. So that's where Whirlpool trumps others, but valuations are with Hitachi. So these companies will keep on jostling for market share. Blue Star and Voltas to be pitched in there as well, and probably Symphony, if they don't change their business from the current whatever they are doing with respect to coolers, they might fall behind going forward. Now Blue Star, I want to say one more thing is that they are selling and they are doing decently well with their ROs. So their ROs are also doing well. Havels are also is also doing good on their ROs. So you have to have an understanding as to what is happening in the market and then take a decision. It is not an easy decision, and perhaps I would like you to hold only one of these, not the whole gamut of it. You can do that, but I think Whirlpool in terms of company is better. Hitachi in terms of valuations is better. All right, so I'm ready to answer your queries. You can ask queries, and a small request that the super chat feature is on your channel. So kindly ask me questions through super chat. It will help me grow the channel. It will help you also ask me questions in detail and eke out answers in detail from me. All right. Uh, all right. Investing on its market on S&P 500. I think S&P 500 would also fall going forward. I think the indicators are already present with the kind of fall we have seen in the last 2 3 days. There could be an upside, but then later on we could see a decent fall in the US markets as well. uh, Amber is good. Amber is good, but I have always liked Dixon over Amber. Dixon technology has run up. Probably look at it at around 6,000 levels, 5,500, 6,000. Whenever it falls, and the levels would come in. So yes, Amber is also good. Wait for declines in Dixon to buy. Wait for a 10 15% decline in Amber to buy into. No comments on IOL chemicals. It has already run up so much. I would not like to comment either negative or positive on it. What I can say is that if you're making good money into it, you can book profits going forward. Instead of Aircon, I would prefer you to get into something like IRCTC on declines, but not at this level. Probably declines over the next 2 3 months, and then you can grab IRCTC. It is still a very good company to get into compared to Aircon. Okay, all right. Uh, Fair share value for kill pest from current levels. It depends on the results. So I'm waiting for the results on 31st. I have lightened my position. My Patreon members already know it. So just to tell you about it, on Patreon, you can have access to my portfolio watch list, changes in my portfolio, podcasts that I put up, at least 3 podcasts a week I put up on stocks and markets in the morning, and also access to some of the articles. Uh, so you have a gamut of things, and you can ask me questions. If you have a $10 membership there, you can ask me questions any day, every day, and I'll answer that questions exclusively for you. So you can access the Patreon website of mine as well. So I have lightened my positions in something like Kilpest, and uh, I'm looking at the results. So I'll decide on what to do after results. I'll definitely put up whatever I have to with respect to Kilpest. What needs to be done once the results are out, because I don't know as to how the results would be, and only then we could decide as to where the stock is headed and what could be the fair value. This is my uh, this is my Patreon. You can say link, so you can access this, and probably you will have access to a lot of stuff that I have already told you. I'm just taking out the exact link. Probably that was the wrong link. You can visit this as well. All right. uh, don't repeat, kindly do not repeat questions. Some of the stocks I don't know about, so I'll not answer that question, whichever stock you're talking about. Hindustan Food is a good stock for long term. I would say that probably on declines by, I think there could be a decent decline in the small cap stocks going forward in the next 2 months or so. So kindly be careful in buying into such stocks and wait for major declines to get into these companies. These all companies are good, which are in the consumer domain. Motherson Sumi, I'm positive for a longer term. So 5 to 7 years, very good price to buy. I see 250, 280 on the stock going forward in next 5 years. I don't know when, maybe in 3 years, maybe in 5 years, 2 years. Bharat Seeds, again, the same opinion. It could go up 3 4x, but again, you have to wait 4 5 years for that. Yeah. KEI is a good stock, but I would not invest. So any stock that is related to electricity, anything that is related to infrastructure, real estate, I would avoid. Maybe get into Asian Paints is a proxy to real estate, if you may think. But directly into something like KEI or Havels, etc., I would not prefer to do at this point of time when the activity is so low. All right. Sirka Paints, well, I don't want to comment. I didn't get much information over it. Tata Consumer, I would say, is expensive. Suprajit Engineering, I would say, is cheap. But when will Suprajit do really well? It is only dependent on auto sales, and when auto cycle reverses, you need to get into something like a Suprajit immediately. But I believe that will take at least a couple of years. So, Starter Consumer expensive at the moment. So, do not buy any of these three. That would be my suggestion. Uh, well, there's no comparison between HUL and Hindustan Foods. You're just looking at the stock prices. HUL is much better at 2100. We don't know much about the management of Hindustan Foods. We know completely about HULs and management and their transparency. So yes, comparatively, there's no question I would prefer HUL. But if you want to take some risk, you can take a risk of 30%. Like I said in September last year about Kilpest, if you're ready to take a risk of 30 40%, yes, Hindustan Foods is up there. I'm not saying it will be the next Kilpest that I have already told you, but it is a very good stock. But we don't know about the management as well as we know about the management of HUL. Kaya is a very good company. Kaya is a very good company. The problem is it's not showing profits, and the companies that do not show profits after the incident I have had with something like a future consumer, I would never buy a stock that is not showing profits. It's as simple as that. So Kaya is not showing profits. It's a very good business. Once it shows profits, I'll look at it. Fine Organics is very good. I'm trying to get out more information to put up a video for it. The company is good. The valuations are rich. Declines it can be bought into, but I need to know more about it. So do your own analysis and then get into such a stock. SRF is good. SRF is good at around 35 3600. Again, a 10 15% decline. One can get into the stock. Tata Chemicals, I'm about to put up a video on it, so kindly have a look at it. Probably in a few days, you'll get a video on Tata Chemicals. Dabur, I would avoid. There are many FMCG companies apart from Dabur. Even a Godrej consumer is better than Dabur. That's what I feel. Dabur has given, I think, meager returns compared to other FMCG companies. So right now, what I like is HUL on declines to 2100. If there is a 5 4 5% decline, Hindustan Unilever looks good and set for 3000 going forward in the next year and a half. I would avoid IT, even with what Infosys and TCS has done, or sorry, Infosys and Wipro has done, and Infosys with its performance. I think the move in Infosys has already taken place. Tech Mahindra, I have no views about it at the moment. I require better understanding of the results going forward. If the results are better, then I'll put up my thought on it. But apart from that, Infosys has run up a lot, so it would correct to 800 levels and then move. So there could be a lot of corrections that would take place in the market. You have an Infosys that has run up to 920, 950. It could correct. It has started correcting. Reliance, which would go to 2300, may correct from there. These are bellwether stocks. So HUL may come to 2000, 2100. It looks like that. So a good 6 7% correction, say from 11,300 400, would take the market to 10,500. That is the sort of correction I'm saying. And in that, a lot of companies would fall 15 20% in the mid cap, small cap domain. And that will be your opportunity to get into stocks of the sorts of Hindustan Foods. Yeah. All right. Rosari is expensive. It is trading at 40, I don't know, 45 or 47 times earnings even now, 47 48. I would prefer something like an Aarti, etc., SRF, and so on and so forth. They are trading at between 25 to 30 times. compared to a Rosari at 45 times. Yes, the business, etc., everything is very good for Rosari Biotech. I would buy it probably on a 20-25% decline from these levels. So probably around, I don't know, something like 600 or below. Something like 550, 500, 550 would be better. I don't think the IPO price would come, but around 500 to 550 would be a better range for something like a Rosari Biotech. Dr. Lal is good. Again, it has run up so much. So I was just looking at the price, I think 18, 1900. That is a huge run up from 11, 1200. And that is what I'm saying. If you see, if things really normalize going forward, 6, 8 months down the line, you could be seeing a Bata going to 1900. You could be seeing a Titan going to 1900, etc. This is the kind of move right now. What is happening with diagnostic companies, with hospital companies like Dr. Lal. So it is expensive. Oh, absolutely, Asian Paints, no doubt about it. Around 1600 to 1700, very good levels to buy into. Thanks a lot for your contribution, first of all. Uh, any decline towards 1600, grab Asian Paints for 10 years. You would be sitting on something like an Asian Paints at 10,000 maybe. 10,000 at least in the next 10 years, 9, 10,000 on Asian Paints. That is how Asian Paints is at the moment. Well, Alok Industries, no comments. I've never commented on it when it was going up and will not comment right now. Info Edge, I think that trade that was for the upside for 3,800 is now gone. Uh, I thought it would go there. I booked out. My stop loss got triggered. If you have bought into it, have a good 1.5 year time frame. Maybe it will come to 2,800. Grab more. I would not suggest to sell because this could reverse also. This could go up as well. The company is doing decently. The management did come out, and there could be some corporate announcements. I don't know, but it looks like that there could be some corporate announcement coming up. Otherwise, the stock would not have hit new highs. So if you have bought into it, you would get opportunity at 2,800 to buy, hold for a couple of years. It could do well. It could go to 4,000. Yeah. Apollo tubes avoid. FL India has expensive, come down to 16, 1500, 1450, good levels to buy. Dixon Technology started manufacturing Geo set-top boxes with only 50 lakh capex and 100 crore annual revenue. Dixon really have operational excellence to justify its premium valuations? I don't think so. I think Dixon has run up a lot. I've always talked about Dixon Technologies from 3,000 levels. At 8,000, it's expensive. At 5,500, it's reasonable. So I've talked about Dixon earlier as well. You can reverse the tape. 5,500 is a reasonable valuations for Dixon going forward. I would avoid Aarti drugs, may like other pharma companies. Aarti industry is much better. Again, Aarti surfactants is expensive. Declines should be looked at, and then 1 quarter results would also tell us as to what to do in the stock. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining me on this live session. A lot of people have joined in. Kindly continue with your queries, and I would try to put up a live, probably a Q&A video later on. But thanks for joining me. I'll try to be online again on Wednesday or Thursday and let you know. Thank you.